We're back out here at the Big Lake once again, and today we're talking about those bad habits that cause anglers to get skunked over and over and over again. Let's see if we can break that cycle so you can start catching some fish. Stick around.
Oh, I got him. Oh, come on, you. Oh, that feels pretty good. Stay down. Oh, that feels pretty good.
And here is this video's featured comment. Congratulations! If you would like a chance to have your comment featured in an upcoming video, all you've got to do is leave a comment. And now, on with the video. Welcome back to Lowbrow Fishing, and here at the Big Lake, it's another gloomy day. It's windy, it's cloudy, the temperature's kind of cool, and today was a real slog. I was out here for about 4 hours, managed only 4 fish, but at least it wasn't a skunk. And that got me to thinking, a lot of anglers, they talk to me in the comment section, they email me from time to time, and they say, Lowbrow, I'm doing the things that you say to do, but I still keep getting skunked. And I'm asking them what it is that they're doing, and a lot of times the response is the same. They say that they're emptying their tackle box out and they can't get any fish. They stay in one area, they're emptying their tackle box out, and they can't get a single bite. And I try to tell them, that's the wrong approach. That's not at all what you should be doing. And it's hard to break those habits, especially when you don't even know what those bad habits are. So today we're going to go over them and hopefully encourage you to break them. Now, first and foremost, most anglers, they've got it backwards. You ask them whenever they're going about bass fishing, what are they thinking about? And, they're thinking about what lure they're going to throw, what bait they're going to throw, right? That's what they've already got on their mind. But I'm telling you, that's the wrong way to do it. What you need to be thinking about is those bass. You need to think about where are they going to be, how are they going to be acting, what sort of mood are they going to be in. Again, you're not going to get around bass patterns and bass behavior. But when you think about that, you say, it's late fall, the water's getting cool, it's going to be a cloudy day, so maybe those bass are going to be backed up off of the shore just a little bit. We've got some wind. What would be the greatest bait? What would be the best bait to go with that situation instead of the other way around? I'm going to start out with this, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to change to something else. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to change to something else. We get lure happy. And that is an Achilles heel that many anglers have. Unfortunately, I still catch myself doing it from time to time. This bait didn't work, I'm going to tie on something else. This bait didn't work, I'm going to tie on something else. And I hinted at it, this very thing in a couple of videos ago, but I wanted to go into a deeper dive on it and why anglers, they get so lure happy. And it's easy to understand, lures catch fish, baits catch fish. That's what you use to catch fish. So that's going to be at the forefront of your mind. But the reason why those baits catch fish is simple. It's because of bass patterns and behavior. Now, as I've often said, bass rarely are locked in on one simple thing. A family of baits can get them activated. We used a spinner bait as an example before. Something like a spinner bait. If you can get it to bite on a spinner bait, maybe you can get them to bite on an underspin. If you can get them to bite on an underspin, maybe a chatterbait, or maybe even something like a swim bait, or, maybe even something like an A-rig. It depends. A swim jig. All of those types of moving, flashy, rattly types of baits. Even subtle ones like a swim bait or a swim jig, you can maybe get a few bites on that. You've got the paddle tail on there. Sometimes you've got a little flash. There's a lot in common. As I've said, bass are rarely, if ever, locked into just one type of thing. Even if they're feeding on, say, gizzard shad. Maybe you can get them with a bluegill bait because bass, while they might be feeding on gizzard shad, it doesn't mean they're not going to eat a bluegill or a sunfish if it's thrown into their face. So play around with that depending on their patterns, their behavior, and what mood they're in. But don't empty your tackle box at them. That is one of the biggest mistakes that I see anglers make time and time again. They tie on a million lures over and over and over again, and they're not getting any bites. It's not because your lures aren't working. It's because the fish in the water, if there is any where you're at, well, they're not biting. They're not active. And that happens from time to time. Maybe they've already fed. Maybe you missed the bite window. Maybe there's not any fish in the water. Again, changing lures 1,000 times is not going to help.
Got him. I got him. He doesn't feel big, but I got him. Not bad. Ooh, I barely had you, buddy. I had you good enough. Well, the black Texas rig, little, I don't know, not even a pound, maybe 3/4 of a pound. Nice little fish. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, buddy. We sure do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's go get the next one.
Which brings us to point number 2, and that is, well, move. If you are not catching fish, even from the bank, if you are a bank angler, if you're fishing from the shore and you're not getting bites in 15 or 20 minutes, maybe change something up. Sure, you're not getting bites on a spinnerbait, maybe change to a Texas rig. But don't sit there all day and waste your day in one specific spot. Even when it comes to bank angling, you have options. I don't care if you're fishing a pond. I don't care if you're fishing a creek. I don't care if you're fishing a big impoundment like Lake Chickamauga or Grand Lake or any other type of large impoundment across the country. You have options. Move around. And if you don't know where other places to fish are, well, again, we've talked about that before. Navionics, Google Earth, these are great tools. And Active Captain from Garmin, that's the one that I've been using a lot lately because I can connect the units from my boat, my Garmin units that I have on the bass buggy. I can link them with my phone and my tablet, and I can download charts, not just my charts that I've made, but charts from users all across the country. And I get detailed maps, detailed graphs, just like I would for Navionics, that give me a heads up on where might be a great place to fish. Not just from my boat, but also from the bank. I can find places where I have deep drop-offs. I can find places where there are vegetation lines. So it's a great tool to have that I use frequently. And if fishing from the bank is something that you do regularly, I highly suggest looking at Active Captain. You can use them to get the charts, the lake breakdowns, and you don't even have to have a Garmin unit. Just create a Garmin account for the Active Captain, get the app, and you can download community maps for free. I've not had any problem downloading community maps, so it makes things a lot easier. I can use that as a point of reference. I can use it to show me what I want to find, drop-offs, channel swings, things of that nature. And it's a great way to learn my lake. It's a great way to learn any fishery. So if I'm not getting any bites, like we said, if I'm in an area and I'm casting and I'm there 15 or 20 minutes, I may change baits once, twice if I'm really, really confident that there are some active fish in the area. Let's say I'm in an area and I see those bass busting, and I'm not getting bites on a spinnerbait. I'm not getting bites on a Texas rig. I'll probably switch up to something like a weightless fluke or a jerkbait, a hard plastic jerkbait, something like that, depending on how those bass are busting. But it's something we need to have at the forefront of our mind. So don't empty your tackle box at those bass. Move. And once we learn that mentality, once we get out of, I just need to tie on another bait, I just need to make one more cast, I know those bass will bite, or, this is the only place that I can fish, this is the only place that I know of to fish. Once we get out of those types of habits, those bad habits, you'll find that not only will you catch fish, you'll catch fish more often, you'll catch fish more consistently, bigger and better fish, as you realize how to put those things together. Those are the real secrets. And it frustrates me to no end to see anglers only videos that they watch are what bait? What bait can I throw? Use this bait right now. Use this bait tip, this bait hack. Those are not going to get you more fish. Sure, if you already know where the fish are, if you've already located the bass, and you have a good idea what type of mood they're in, something like that can help. But for the most part, you've got to find what's working in your area and stop becoming bait-centric and become bass-centric. Learn how to identify what those bass want, and more importantly, where they are. Those should be the things that you are leading with. After that, then worry about what type of bait you want to throw. So make sure you're doing it in the right order. And that's one of the worst habits that I know bass anglers have. It's something that we need to be broken of. So, as I said, think about what those bass are doing first, where they might be, then think about what lure you want to throw. And if you're not getting anything in a particular area, move. It's not going to change anytime soon. If you're there 15 or 20 minutes or even a half an hour, by that time, I'm long gone. I understand I'm not going to catch any fish at this location. I would be better served going someplace else and having a better chance. And like I said, I can always find, even from the bank, I can always find different places to catch fish. And people tell me, lowbrow, I can't catch anything from the bank right now. The fish are just not biting from the bank. And right now is the best time of year to catch fish from the bank. Those bass are as shallow and as active as they are going to be all year. In the spawn, they're going to be on bed, and you have to fight with them. Right now, they're active, they're hungry, so as we've said, this is the prime time to be a bank angler. This is when I do all of my bank angling, for the most part. In the fall and in the winter, I'm beating the bank. I will go out more often than not beating the bank than I am in the boat. And it serves me well. I'm able to catch fish. So keep it in the right order. That's the thing that I have to stress to you. Keep your priorities straight when you're going on the water. Because if you get them backwards, even a little bit, chances are those mistakes are the mistakes that are going to keep you from catching fish. And when you're not catching fish, well, you're getting frustrated. And then when you're watching a YouTube video, you see some guy on the YouTube video talking about how easy it is to catch bass, and you're not catching bass. It can be very frustrating. So let's examine the bad habits. Let's get rid of those bad habits, and let's start catching more bass. So there you have it. A look at the bad habits and how to overcome them when it comes to bass fishing. Whether you're fishing from the bank, whether you're fishing from the boat, it does not matter. We need to approach bass fishing from the right direction, in the right order, and put bass patterns and behavior first and foremost. Then match everything else we do up with that. Once you do that, you'll find that you'll catch bass consistently, and you'll be catching quality bass a lot more often than you think you could. Thanks for watching Lowbrow Fishing. We'll catch you in the next one.